That's it.
That's always good when you...
Hello, everyone. I'm with Sue-Ellen, and we were just talking before about the sort of trends and what's happening in sort of clips and content. And Sue-Ellen has a lot of thoughts on that topic online and what holds people like down really in terms of actually creating content like this here, like in just hopping on the platform and creating content that is linked to who you are and linked to your congruency almost. So what do you think like entrepreneurs usually get incorrect in terms of creating content that they have an intention for? So when an entrepreneur goes to create a blog clip or anything is a how-to piece of content, what do you think they usually get incorrect, and why does it not hit the key mark usually through their prospect?
That's a really good question, Jamie. And I think that people jump into, I've got this content and I've got to create it, and they come at it from being all in their head.
Yeah.
Like, so it's like, and the video part of it
as
is
them
like,
actually trying to get on the camera themselves,
Yeah, so they've got, so they arrive at their video and they're all in their head, and then they turn up and they're just simply not themselves.
Like they just produce a content with no emotion or depth or sort of anything.
Yeah, exactly. And then it lands really flat. So instead of, like, for me, a video is a conversation. So we're sitting here today.
And we're having a conversation.
Yeah. Like I'm looking at the, the cameras that we've got here. I've got my camera over here.
Mine over here.
Mine over here. And we've got the two of us, and there's, like, I see it as there's two other people here.
So yours... won't be including that as well.
But not like, when I'm sitting here, I'm not like eyeballing.
I was going to bring that up. I was about to bring that up, whereby you were saying you see a lot of entrepreneurs like lean into the camera and just directly speak into the lens constantly, and it creeps people out. I like the it does, because it's like you would not keep that eye contact so intense if you were talking to like a friend or some client. Like, you would treat it as a normal conversation. And I think when people go to create content and just try to put it out there, they feel that they have to be someone else. Like, they have to be a certain brand, or they have to be a certain like they have to be at a certain point in order to have their voice heard. But it's not true. Like if you just put it out there and you are who your clients enjoy you as, then you're going to find more other clients as well.
Yeah, exactly. And it's the big thing that...
thank you for the share, George.
Awesome, thank you. The big thing that the majority of people are missing is that video is not something where you perform to camera.
I like that. Video is not a performance. It should be an extension of a conversation. I like that a lot.
It's all about the
quote that one. That one's good.
And tweet
video,
that one.
that one's really good.
Yeah, so it's, and it's, so we're simply having a conversation. So when you're doing video, it's not a performance. So you're not sitting there and going, okay, like, now I need to perform. And 9 times out of...
Look at me, I'm performing, clap for me, sort of thing. Yeah,
and they're like, buy my stuff, and there's this energy of neediness.
Yeah, that's it. Across. And I think coming at it from having a intention that, yes, you are keen to sort of produce a very good sort of quality clip, but not being attached to the outcome as well, because it is not always the actual filming part which is hard. It is like what happens after I finish it, and then what will people say, what will people, will they like it, will they say something awful about it, and it's that fear that creates that incongruency in terms of the content that they try to deliver.
And that shows up on your video.
It does indeed. And I was gonna say, oh, yeah, and also something that helped out me years ago, about 2 years ago, was creating content or creating clips that are not about me and not trying to prove my content through the clip. So I see a lot of people who are brand new to this sort of platform, they, try to create in-depth content to like prove themselves, as opposed to content that is a natural conversation that like their prospects will actually enjoy.
Yeah.
So what do you think causes that per se, or do you think it's just because they're just brand new and they're a little bit uneasy, or do you think it's because they've seen other experts produce these amazing content pieces and they try to...
I think the fundamental problem is that they're coming at it from their point of view. That if someone is really struggling with the camera, it's because they're not walking in their shoes. They're not actually thinking. They're thinking about, what do I look like? How am I coming across? So they're all in their head again.
Yeah.
But
how am I coming across is a big one.
It's huge. What am I going to say? I get that. Like, that is my number one question.
It's interesting when someone's keen to film a video, you would think they would have that predefined. Like, what do you want to say on the video? Like, isn't that something you would have figured out or not? No.
Well, that's what stops a lot of people.
Okay. Is
that they say to themselves, like, they're going, oh, I'm crap on camera, I'm terrible on my video, I'm just, like, I'm no good at it. But what they're really saying is that I just don't know what to say. So even before they start onto the video, so that when they do their first video or, their first few videos, if they know what they're going to say,
it's a lot easier for them to...
It's so much easier. And then most people don't know what the outcome of their video is before they start the video.
And that really helps out. If you can see a sort of end point, it will obviously end your clips a lot more quicker.
Yeah.
I've seen clips that just go on and on where the point could have been set in like the first two or 3 minutes. And it kind of gives you a framework as to, okay, well, have I hit all those key points, or am I just going on and on for the sake of trying to prove myself on the platform? So
and people who are watching, we've got people who are watching us live here. They don't want to see a cookie cutter person. They don't want to see you being someone else. They don't want to see they want us. So it's really important to show your personality.
And
there's a vulnerability that goes with that. So it's like, I don't want to do that because, like if, we're having a conversation here, like, if I'm doing a video by myself, I'm laughing on camera, I'm like looking like, I'm having a conversation, It's like, sometimes I might drop my phone or whatever, like it doesn't matter, you keep going, and if your words don't come to you, you're simply, you're yourself.
You own it.
And you own it,
Because I think if you are yourself, then you always have something to say. Like, I think it's when people try to pretend to be someone they're not, or they try to follow some script, you're going to hit an end point where you're not going to be able to come up with the words, or it begins to feel really incongruent, and you run into those blocks and those traumatizing times on camera as well. Yeah,
and we've all had that. I was just a camera disaster.
Tell us your first time.
Oh my gosh, it was terrible.
Look at you.
It was so terrible. And that's the thing, people seem to think that, the first time that I'm on video, it's just going to be wonderful, it's really, like it's not, like we're all terrible. So, but mine was most terrible. So I had this idea of interviewing people.
Yeah.
And
which year was this as well, by the way?
2010.
Okay, yeah.
Right. So I decided that, I've got a horse, so I thought I would go and interview this horse bloke. And I had this grand idea of this beautiful scene that I found, and this gorgeous horse that had to be in the scene. They say never work with animals or children. I was just missing the children. And so I had this fantastic horse in my mind. It just stood there beautifully, just like, just looking gorgeous.
Perfect.
And the scene was great. The wind was horrendous, but I didn't want that to ruin my scene. And I overlooked the fact that wind in the microphone would be really bad.
Yes.
So I set us up and we were sitting sort of this far apart,
Mm-hmm.
horse in the background, beautiful scene. It was just, I was in heaven. And then I asked the question of how do you, what's one of the ways that you can help your horse stand still?
Mm.
At that point, his dog came up to the horse's nose, and the horse and the dog were having an argument, and it was all distracting in the background. I had no idea that was going on. It's my best blooper, and I just went.
Do you still have it?
I
That
do.
is the best.
I still have it.
That's
and it
amazing.
was just everything totally wrong. I've never been able to use the footage apart from to show what is bad.
What is bad, yeah.
What is really bad, like ordinary everything.
That wasn't so much you though. That was like things that happen outside of your control per se.
Well,
Sort of, yeah. Oh, no?
Well, it was my expectation.
Yeah, got it. So it's like going into it without having that expectations, and then if anything happens, you just handle it as you would normally.
You would just change it and go inside. Seriously. I would have completely changed the shot because I was so attached to how it had to look. My perfectionism just kind of came out. I mean, it's got to be like this.
Yeah.
And that's from that point on. I dropped it. I actually stopped videoing for a while because I was so traumatized by
that experience. Yeah.
It was terrible.
You poor thing. That sounds horrible.
The whole. I was interviewing this bloke and we couldn't use any of the footage, and it was pretty ordinary, but it's a great blooper and people just laugh at my expense.
That is a good point about not having sort of expectations on yourself or on the scene. And I think in just being yourself on, say, camera, then if anything comes up, you're sort of able to adjust accordingly, because you're not trying to pretend to be a certain way, or you're not trying to keep to some framework or some script at all as well. So I like that too.
Yeah, it's it's so important, and to be really present.
How do you create that when you are first trying it out? Do you just say, all right, now I'm present, and now I'm just going to go, or how do you create it for your clients? Or
so I've got a process that I take people through.
Okay.
So that what I do really well is before we hit record.
Got it. Yeah.
So there's the script, and there's what to say, and all of that happens. But there's these moments of showing up as your personality, and I've got some techniques that I take people through.
Okay.
So that they can be heard in a way that their voice can actually land energetically on their viewer. And and they're quite simple techniques, but if you're not aware of how to do that, and you just you don't put any effort into that, then you're not gonna make the impact. Because there's one thing about having a person who turns up on video, but there's another thing when their words actually land.
Yeah, got it.
Really, like in the hearts of their, particularly if you've got. My clients have all got a really important message. Yeah. That they've got to share, and it's first of all, how do you get the attention of someone before you talk to them? That's the number one thing. And then once you do have their attention, how you show up on video is more important than what you say. I
agree. I mean, it's not so much about what you say, but how you say it, because it's all about the sub communication as well, and like how you feel it, and then that causes how the prospect feels as well. It does. And very now true. We've got live video, and and we can interact while we're speaking. I mean, I've got you should show how I've got my video camera set up. So it just goes to show that, again, not having any sort of expectations there in terms of how it should have worked. I mean, yes, maybe you should have used some proper tripod for the whole phone itself, but in just sort of flexibility and being able to create it on they fly
Yeah.
is a very helpful skill as well.
Yeah, and I have so many hacks like that. I don't let anything stop me. Like, if
That's
there is a
good.
will, there is a way.
I agree.
And it's like, you know, when I'm doing a video, I like to have, you know, my video up around about, you know,
You were
eye
saying
level.
that, yeah.
And so that's why
It's a little bit higher.
mine's on a, you know, a dodgy
I feel like I
tripod.
should have mine up a little bit higher now as well.
Because we're kind of like, you know, looking up our nose. So, you know, you know, Jamie's like, I'm going to sit my camera here. And I was like, no.
Nah, I'm not.
I've got mine set up differently. And it's those small little tweaks like that, you know, that basically make most of the difference. And,
I agree.
And it's these small little, they're the small little tweaks, but they're the ones that matter.
They do. So, in terms of people trying to get on camera, so it is 2 weeks till the brand new year, and I'm sure everyone wants to, you know, begin creating content for their programs or for their products or even for their company online. What do you think holds them back primarily? Because everyone's great at, say, creating some plan and, you know, even scripting out the sort of frameworks for the content, but in terms of actually pulling the actual trigger, most people don't do it until March, if they do it at all. So in terms of them filming content for the brand new year, what, you know, three sort of you know, key problems should they be cautious of when they go, you know, and try it on their own for the first time?
Perfectionism.
Yes.
That's the number one thing that what leads after perfectionism is procrastination.
So they would create and then it's not perfect, so they procrastinate around trying to do it a second or third time?
Yeah. They'll actually do it. There's people that I know who have made a lot of videos.
But no one's seen them?
No one's seen them. And it's like...
I've done 400 videos, show me, and they're not online.
You know, or like, delete.
Got it.
And it's like, it's just start, you know? It's like, make a video and send it to a friend. Like, just simply start, because none of us are going to be perfect on video. So the idea of perfection.
And also, if you are perfect as well, you're hard to connect to, because if you're this perfect person who is flawless, then no one's going to be, you know, able to connect to you as a prospect to a individual. So
and the second thing is to connect.
Yeah, got it.
Is really connect. Like, you know, that little microphone and the camera, that's a person.
It's a person on the other end.
It's a person. So, you know, connect. Yeah, it's like, hi. You know, connect to them. Like, really genuinely put yourself in their shoes.
Yeah.
And that happens before you hit record.
Oops.
Yeah, and it just, you know, and it does. And, you know, like, things are going to go wrong, like, you know, what's just happened to my video camera right now. You know, things are gonna go wrong. Things are not gonna be
perfect or flawless.
So, you know, like, I can sit there, I can just hold it. Like,
you can do that as well. You
know, it's like like I said, there's always a way, and
there is a plan B.
Yeah, there's a plan B, but don't let that perfectionism stop. Like, I mean, I could have just had a hissy fit then and gone, oh my gosh,
I'm done.
I'm going to walk out. But, you know, this is real life.
Yeah.
With real life, we don't edit.
Correct.
We keep going. And, you know, and you can use that as a learning tool, and you can connect even more with your audience. You know, it's like improvisation is brilliant, but if you never start, then you're not going to get to second base, let alone your goal.
That is a good point. I think it is a habit. Like, I don't think there's any amount of preparation or homework or anything that, like, you can do before you get on camera until you, like, there's nothing that can prepare you. Example would be, I was doing clients' clips for about 3 or 4 years, and then I was like, I might try my own. It was absolute hecticness. Despite me doing clips for years for, like, my clients, I did, I think, 84 attempts at a opt-in clip, which is about 20 or 30 seconds long.
Yeah.
And it was just horrendous, and it took 3 hours, and we had no footage to it. after it. So there's nothing that can always prepare you for it besides just practicing it, really. But yeah, it's like there's nothing that can prepare you for it.
Well, there is. You can set yourself up. So before you hit record, it's like you know your words. Even if you think you don't know your words, you still know. Like if you've written them, then you know them. Yeah,
got it.
And it's like it's really about trusting that those words are going to come through you. And it's like, what is the intention? What is the outcome that you have for that video? Whose life are you going to impact?
Yeah.
What are those words going to say? Is that going to be the difference between someone taking this direction or that direction?
This is true.
And I really think that I personally think that video, there is a large responsibility that goes with it. Because we're talking to people, you know, we've got people watching on both our phones. The majority of them are either in their personal space. These videos are going into a personal space. They're going into people's homes. They're going into people's lives.
With the intent to create a sort of impact.
Yeah, it is. And it's like, you know, I have one lady said to me, you know, I've been watching your video tips, and she said I was watching it with my son.
Oh, wow.
And she was walking around with her phone in the house, and her son goes, oh, you know, Sue-Ellen, who... And she said to her son said, you know, who are you speaking to? And she said, I'm speaking to Sue-Ellen. She's sharing some lighting tips with me. And I just became part of the conversation in that house. There is a level of
household name almost.
Yeah, there's a level of responsibility. So now her son knows my name.
That's pretty cool.
You know, that's and there is a level of respect that goes with that. So when we're making a video, you know, I personally believe that, you know, we need to show up as ourselves, show our personality, and have a
show our flaws if we haven't.
And flaws. My phone fell over before. You know, the texter that I was holding it up with.
Let you down.
It let me down.
How dare it?
Yeah, that's it. Because you know that's just life.
Yeah.
You know things, and if you come across as perfect, your audience can't connect with you.
True point.
Because it's not real.
It is not real, no. And I think everyone has their own little quirkiness and their own little approach. And I think if people just walk into that and they live with their own content, I think people end up in a place where they can win. Because I find a lot of people might be good on camera, but they not using content that isn't their own, which means they can't go as in depth about it, and they can't sort of frame it again and again, and you see it, and it's these, you know, amazing people who are great on camera and they have great content, but no one's interacting, and it's like, well, it's because it's not congruent, and it just feels like everything else that is currently out there.
Yeah, and that's why it's like whatever video voice a person has, that has to come through on camera.
Yeah,
it has to, and then that uniqueness will come through. And if we're all vanilla and all the same as everyone else, I mean, how boring would this world be? Like,
Very
it's
true.
just not. You know, we have a point of difference, and sometimes it's like, oh, well, I don't really want to share that. Share it.
Yeah.
It's important to share it. And the second important thing is to back yourself. Like, even if you don't feel like you can back yourself, find someone else who believes in you first.
Yeah.
Until you back yourself, because there's a line that you need to step over to be able to go, I'm in this all out.
Yeah,
and you can dip your toe over the line, and you can keep doing that.
You can't be half gangster, as I say.
You can't be half gangster.
You can't be half gangster.
At some point, you've got to jump in and say, you know what? Like, I'm going to do this video thing, or I'm going to create this content. And if you've never done it before, you're not going to be like...
Be sort of prepared that like your first 10 or 20 are going to be really bad. I mean, I've been doing my blogs around the country and say even overseas as well now. And it's only the last 6 months that I've finally got it into flow. And that was about a year and a half of just constantly practicing, trying new things, and until I got into flow for that project. So just patient about it as well. And it is a skill that has to be worked, not just learnt. So yes, you can learn it, but you have to be able to constantly you have to constantly be doing it as well.
Yeah, you've got to embody it. Video is an embodiment thing.
Part of you as opposed to something you actually do. Like it becomes
It is, and people will they need to feel you. They need to, they're sitting there watching, going, do I like this person? Do I trust this person? And they've already made that decision on hello.
Is it in the first 2 or 3 seconds or something? Yeah.
Just like that, the biology of people is incredible.
Self-communication is amazing.
Yeah, so if you're turning up on video going, I've got it all together and everything's fine, and that image comes across, people will be sitting there going, there's something that's just not right,
Something wrong.
People
aren't silly these days, they can tell.
No, we've got big BS meters.
Even more so now, we do.
We're not tolerant,
Yeah.
And I love where marketing is going now. It's more that individual type marketing. It's education marketing. It's caring about the person first.
Yeah, got it.
And if you care about them and you're going to listen to them, and you're going to then your marketing becomes more personalised, but there's that care factor that comes with it, then you're actually genuinely helping someone.
That's it. And then that kind of removes the attachment to the outcome, because you're clear that this content will help someone in the end, right?
Yeah. And if you are someone who is just putting your valuable information out there, you are doing your clients a disservice.
Definitely.
Because they're waiting.
And they're in pain. You are literally hurting them more by not putting it out.
Yeah. And it's and that comes back to focus on self rather than focus on the person.
Serve.
Yeah, and they're out there. And I know me, I love to buy something that is going to help me. Yes, bring it on.
Yeah, it's give me more of the things that will help me, pretty much. And people don't I actually had a friend over the last 2 weeks. She's been putting out content after I've been pushing her to constantly do it. And surprise, surprise, everyone loves it. And it's her second or third clip. And is it perfect? Definitely not. But the feedback is 100 plus comments and 200 likes out of nowhere. And now she has a brand literally almost in the space of a week, just from going, I'm just going to film my thoughts on this and put it out there. And she's getting inboxes saying, thank you so much. And you would be surprised the info that you have inside of you if you were to put it onto a clip. It would help out so many people that you just can't count until it happens.
You can't, There was one video that I did, and I saw these magnificent storm clouds, and I had a really ordinary day that day.
Okay.
And I just put it together that, how many other people have had an ordinary day today. There's storm clouds. And then I saw a rainbow, which is a bonus. And there's the rainbow comes in only when there's storm clouds.
Yeah.
And the comments and the interaction that I got, and was just oh my gosh, I've had an ordinary day and I've been dwelling on this. Thank you so much for sharing, your perspective. And it's your perspective.
Yeah, it is. It is. It is. It's because I hear people say to me constantly, and they're well, I would film a blog about this, but someone else has already talked about it. And it's people aren't so much listening to your content per se. They want your personality. They want you, and they want your approach on it as opposed to your content. Because probably most of the content that can be created has been created about that topic. But it's how do you take your approach on it? What is your personality? How is your track history? Do you have any clients you can use in that content as well? So don't get caught up on the actual content. Get caught up in how you are as a person and in your personality and how you deliver that content.
Exactly. And it's kind of ironic, but the line of work I'm in is about helping people to be themselves.
Yeah.
And helping people to show up and having that honest, reliable feedback where it's it's a bit of a stretch sometimes, and people are oh my gosh, did I really show up like that? But I know for me, I wanted to know that.
Yeah.
I've created all my programs because that's what I needed.
That's interesting. That's good.
You know, and good. It's just, and I was just in so much pain, and I just went, okay. My first program was I put myself through it first because I was so terrible on camera, and I was terrified that I made myself make videos consistently, and then one of my friends went, oh, you know, I need that too, and I was like, oh, okay, well, let's go play, and it starts off like that.
It's quite interesting. When you begin to put out content, you kind of get to feel and hear things that you wouldn't have heard otherwise until you put it out there. Like you were telling me before that in your short course you have people send you a clip and they tell you their like sort of problems and their insights in that, and you learn so much through that platform as opposed to just having a normal questionnaire, because you can hear their answers, but you can see how they react as well. Yeah. And it's just such a good platform to just communicate on, and really anything you want you can put out there pretty quickly these days too.
Gosh, it is super fast. It is super fast, and you want to be able to put it out in a way that you're going to make an impact.
Yeah.
You're going to make a difference, you know, and it's and just be respectful of the people who are watching. You know, no one wants to watch a 4-hour video if it's just like, rambling on.
Or just ramblings or,
we want, we don't have time.
Any depth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we want real, It's like we want to hear what the problems are and the stumbling blocks.
What are the most profitable TV shows in the world?
Reality TV.
Reality TV.
Yeah. This is what this is.
This and that, and the more you can bring that into your content, the more you'll win. Consistently. Yeah. As well, like the more scripted it is and the more outcome dependent it is, the sort of more uphill it will feel. And I've tried to do, like, this is 2014, I tried to do how-to content for a good year, and it just didn't gel. But as soon as I began to actually create authentic, congruent content, it just like it was easier, and the clips came out quicker, and the feedback has just been amazing.
Yeah, because it's relevant to the
audience as well. Relevance is such an important topic that you want to ensure that what you're talking about is actually relevant to the prospect, as opposed to just what you want to talk about as well. Yeah,
that's it. And you've got comments and also you can interact like
two-way
live.
Street. Yeah, that is pretty cool.
It's it's the best age of being able to be able to get instant feedback from your customer or your potential customer. And there's just all these conversations that are going on, and people are struggling with certain things, and if you can help, then you should be.
You should have a duty to help out and change their lives. Yeah, understood.
Yeah, definitely.
So, in terms of closing this up, what are 3 action steps that say someone could do if they are not shy, but if they're brand new to, say, this platform, and if they have high hopes to film clips for 2017?
So the first thing to do is to be able to put yourself in your potential client's shoes.
Yeah.
And just take a few moments to look into the lens and go, you know what, this isn't a scary camera.
Yeah.
This is a human being. This is a person who's probably going through some sort of pain. And get yourself into that, get yourself into your body, into your heart.
Yeah.
And speak from that place. If you're up in your head thinking about, I've got to look cool and what's the next thing.
I need to ensure that I am linked to my brand, or, I need to ensure that this will sell the product or whatever. Yeah. Got it.
Yeah, it just, forget that.
It's all came over from there. So, first thing is to, pretend you're the customer almost, sort of thing.
Yeah, that they're
Put
standing
yourself
in front
in their
of you.
shoes. Yeah, stand in front of you.
Walk in their shoes, and connect with them. Smile. So real, but not like like a genuine smile, not like that.
Not what I just did. Of course.
Not a non.
Do as she says, not as I do.
Yeah, a smile comes through you, and your eyes smile. You need smiling eyes.
Yeah. Grin. Yes, that is correct. So point 2 also be like you're smiling as well, which is the second point.
Yeah, you want to connect.
Yeah.
So, and then the third point is to set yourself up correctly, you know. So, you know, with with how your camera angle is, with, you know, have you got beautiful catch light in your eyes?
Yeah.
You know, what's your background saying? You know, there's just some little tips.
Some actual tangible tactic stuff that can actually make a big difference.
Yeah, because I mean, I'm essentially, you know, a visual artist is where is my background, and you want that, you know, aesthetic looking video. So, for example, if we change the angle just down slightly so there's less room above our heads. Yeah. See, instantly that's just nice on the eye.
I'm learning. This is true.
Yeah, I've just moved mine up on here. But, you know, it's nicer on the eye, you know. We don't want to cut our heads off. But, and microphones. Yeah, you need to have a microphone.
I think that is the most important thing. The actual, like, as a consumer, I would prefer a poor quality clip that has been filmed on a pen, but as long as it sounds really good.
Yeah.
A microphone is the best thing that anyone can purchase who is keen to get into this space. And if you don't have a microphone, headphones work just as good. I filmed all of my blogs on these headphones, so I had a headphone in and I simply talked into the earpiece here. Yeah. So that can work really well too.
Oh, it can, yeah. We're used to good quality sound.
Yeah. Visuals can be a bit hit and miss, but as long as it sounds really good, then
really good. And you know, and this, you know, now we've got like a nice and now we've got, you know, like a, you know, a nice looking film. You know, if you got too high, too low, it's just you know, we want to make it, you know,
we need to make it so it looks good and it tastes good as well, sounds good as well.
Yeah, and it feels good. So you've got all those three covered. You connect, you look good, you sound good, and you've got quality content to share. You know, it's
There's
a good start.
mic on those now. Okay. Yeah, okay. Awesome. All right, well, thank you for your time. I think that was a very good little spiel. I think people enjoyed it. So, cool. Awesome. Any other questions? Anything else? Hey, microphones, yeah. I think that is a big one. I purchased a actual camera first, and the camera was high sort of quality.
Yeah.
And then I filmed it, and then it was like, well, it now sounds really bad. So, yeah, that's a little bit annoying. But always ensure that you do have a high quality sound input always above anything else. So
yeah, and it's, you know, I love the Rode mics. Are one of my favourites.
Endorsement plug right there.
Yeah, the Rode. Well, the Rode Mic Me is a really good one because it's actually really good for interviews. There are plenty of other ones out there, but I just want to keep it simple. I like to buy stuff online, but sometimes I want my microphone now.
Got it. Awesome. All right, well, thank you for your time, and we will see you soon.
Yeah, definitely.
Done. Thank you. See you guys.